don't know what happens. I do not know what happens. For some reason, there was an error starting. Hello, beautiful people. We are live. Hello, 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 family. We are live. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Welcome to another episode of Nights with Nicci. I did a live, you guys, earlier today when I was cooking in the kitchen. And I got a little sidetracked by doing my cooking with Nicci tonight, which I'll put it up for you guys to be able to see. So I'm a little late, but better late than never. You feel me? Better late than never. Hello. Hi everyone. I'm sorry I asked the question the other day. I don't know about, I was confused with someone else. I'm sorry. No problem. I don't even remember the question. Hey, I just added all of Brownstone's albums to my Spotify playlist. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for adding Brownstone to your Spotify playlist. That means the world to me. We are actually going to be going on the road in just a couple of weeks. We will be in Boston in September. We'll be in Columbus, Georgia in September. We are doing the Tom Joyner cruise. We got some things going on in that Brownstone world. What happened to the song Don't Cry for Me? You sing the hell out of that song. Thank you so much. The song Don't Cry. Somebody on TikTok asked about the song Don't Cry for Me. That is actually a song that I wrote when my grandfather passed away. So I sang that song with my whole heart. And it's interesting because we got a request recently for someone to use it as a sample. So, we're always here for the sample as long as the deal is right. But yeah, the song Don't Cry for Me, I actually wrote for my grandpapa. And y'all, I was in that kitchen cooking. And how about I did not even eat dinner. So this is my protein shake. I was like, forget about it. So, and I didn't do my protein shake on live, which I was going to do, but I did not. But I'll tell you guys what's in it just because, I'm on my fitness kick and I like to share all my, even though, hey, Lamar, I see you. Yes, Lamar, honey, I done put on a little bit of edge control and a red lip. Okay, TikTok, I was earlier. Please hit the like buttons and give me some hearts. Earlier, guys, I was on my live. And I was looking real crazy. I was just coming in from the gym. But I've been on my health and fitness kick, y'all. I have been trying to really change my eating habits. I see my body changing, which I'm really excited about. I really see my body changing. I know, like, in some areas, I focus the weights, a little more in some areas, and I should be focusing them on others. I got to make sure I do an even distribution of the weight because I see one of my legs is getting bigger. You know what I mean? So I got to figure that whole thing out. And my husband told me, pay attention to what he be telling me in the gym. But, I just like, hey, I'm just in here. Just praise God that I made it into the gym. So I am trying to change my eating habits in addition to the fact that your girl is a whole entire, can you guys hear me okay on YouTube? I know you guys can hear me on TikTok or y'all will be saying something, but let me know if you can hear me on YouTube. Somebody just give me some thumbs up. Hi to everybody watching me on Facebook. Hi to everybody watching me on Instagram. Hi to everybody watching me on LinkedIn, and hello to everyone watching me on YouTube and on TikTok. I really appreciate y'all. I know it's a whole lot of influencers and folks out here in these streets, entertaining the people and talking to y'all and rambling and shit. And I'm just glad that you guys come here to listen to me ramble. I really appreciate it. TikTok, the love that I've been getting from y'all, I really sincerely appreciate it. And I know sometimes you guys are probably like, what the hell is your page all about? Because it's not necessarily a niche because I'm not an influencer per se, but we'll get into it a little bit. Let me get to some of these TikTok questions. That red lips always eats. Thank you guys. Black owned business, the lip bar. I'm showing them the lip bar. Not only is it a black owned business, but it's a Detroiter. So I'm a really big supporter of Black women owned businesses, and I mean I like a white woman owned business and an Asian woman owned business too, but I try to make sure every opportunity that I have, when there's an opportunity to patronize a Black woman, especially when she's from my hometown. And shout out to Melissa Butler, who did an amazing job with the lip bar. I love her stuff. You guys, TikTok, I need y'all to show me around a little bit, okay? Because honey, I just got hip to the TikTok shop, baby. I just got hip. How did I just get hip to the TikTok shop? YouTube, y'all probably like, oh, you slow. But no, I really did just get hip to the TikTok shop. I was up in there last night like, oh my goodness. Because again, this new health and fitness journey that I'm on, I wear my workout clothes out. When I say wear them out, I don't mean wear them out in public. Of course I do that. I mean wear them out to the point where them shits be toe up. So I needed some new workout stuff. So I was looking around and my girlfriend's like, girl, look at the TikTok shop. They got everything at TikTok shop. I was like, okay, TikTok shop. So you guys make sure y'all tag me and show me how to do it. I actually did get a gift from the TikTok shop that I really enjoyed. I don't know if I should be saying TikTok on YouTube and Instagram and all of that, and YouTube on TikTok and all of those things, because these apps don't like to intermingle. A lot like Black people. We're going to talk about that tonight too. But yeah, I got hip to the TikTok shop. So you guys hit me to the cute little pieces, the cute little 1-2 pieces and whatnot. So tonight on the show, oh, let me tell you, I didn't tell you guys, I did not tell you something. I did not tell you what I have put in the smoothie I have drink. So I got a little bit of everything in my smoothie tonight, baby. A little bit of everything is up in the smoothification of this motherfucker tonight. Thank you for the likes. If you're coming in watching me on worth.tv YouTube, if you're watching me on Instagram, well, Instagram, you can't really, well, you can like after the fact. No, you can give me some hearts on Instagram. I think you can give me hearts on Instagram too. Wait a minute. I don't even know if I'm live on Instagram yet. Matter of fact, I think I'm not, because I don't think oh, I am. Okay. Well, the show's been going live for a minute, but Instagram wasn't live on the Instagram page. So, hi, Instagram. Hello, Instagram. I hate to say it, IG, but me and Twitter and YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and who else? Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok. We've been gigging for a minute. So hello to all my family on Instagram. How y'all doing tonight? I hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday night. I was just about to go into the ingredients of this fantastic smoothie that I'm consuming. See, I was on Instagram earlier today and y'all saw me cooking a dinner that I did not even eat. Hello? So instead of that, I'm doing watermelon. So what I do is I freeze my watermelon, especially when I realize that there's, a significant amount of watermelon left. Hey, Vegas, I see you. When there's watermelon left and it's getting to the point where it's going to just get old, I'll freeze it, right? Freeze my watermelon, froze my strawberries, threw them in there because they give it that nice, smooth, icy consistency. Hello. And then I added, today I had carrot. There's carrot juice in here. There's ginger in here. There is lots of protein in here. I doubled up on the protein and collagen as well. What else? Am I leaving anything out? Carrot juice, but pineapple, baby. Y'all know I'm a Sam's Clubista. I love me some Sam's Club. So Sam's Club has these delicious pineapples. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, now you know. It has these amazing pineapples in coconut water. So I put the coconut water, the pineapples, all of that stuff in there, and I blend it up in a Ninja, and it's delicious. So thank you. You look great. I am 49. I am 55, baby. And I'm sure I can't see you, but I'm sure you look absolutely fantastic for your age. Somebody says, say it, do it, show it, prove it. I've always loved your voice. I don't want to rain on this parade. Hey, shout out to the sister who sang during the tribute. I really, really appreciate you, sis. It was a beautiful tribute, and she sang right before. Baby, listen. My grandson was not clear on just how fly his nana is, because he was really on some, oh, they singing for you, nana? They playing the guitar for you, nana? You get a whole trophy and come to the stage. I'm like, yes, your nana is, a little legendary, young buck. Anywho, someone just said, I'm coming to watch you on YouTube. Thank you so much. Yes, please come over to YouTube and hang out over there as well. And thank you again, TikTok. I really appreciate the love that we're getting over on TikTok. You guys, I got to do a little bit of honorable mention. I want to say that I am so grateful to the people in the who have watched. 500,000 people have tuned in and watched the content in 1 month. So give yourselves a huge, oh, you know what? That was not loud and rambunctious enough. Give yourselves a round of applause. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. I really appreciate it. As an analog girl, and by analog girl, most of you know I'm a old heifer. I came up in the 1990s in this industry here. So this digital thing has been very new for me. And it is something that I'm learning to navigate. And it is something that requires you shake it like a salt shaker and work it like a whole full-time 12 to 12 job. Like, seriously, it's crazy. But I enjoy it because I enjoy talking to all of you. I enjoy interacting with all of you. I enjoy seeing all of the beautiful hearts. And I understand if I'm going to continue to progress in this industry as it is today, we have to learn how to be analog girls living in a digital world, because that is exactly what the hell this is. It's crazy. I talk to my peers all the time and we're like figuring it out, right? And the thing is, as everyone is clear, streaming, YouTube is the new. They said YouTube is on track to outpace Hollywood, which is refreshing to a degree. I was talking about this earlier today. I'm actually going to TikTok. Y'all didn't hear this part, but I'm actually going to get a Zeus Networks membership so that I can tune in and see what kind of content they have. Because, yeah, I know they have baddies and this and that, but I'm really excited to see the Hollywood Unlocked Awards, which I heard is like really good. And a lot of dope, A and B list Black performers and artists and creatives are a part of it. So I'm really excited to see that. And I love the idea of Black men coming together, owning something, sharing the platforms, because there's enough room for all of us, right? There's enough room for all of us. It's like you'd be better off licensing your content to like a bunch of YouTubers who have huge followings than some of these works out here in these streets. Don't tell nobody I said that, because I am still trying to license content to networks. Speaking of licensing content to networks, I'm really excited to share with you guys real time the process that we're going through to get this curtains pilot done. People have asked what it is. I'm going to go over it real quick. I'm sorry, that hair's itching my back a little bit. All right. People have asked what it is. I'm going to go over it a little bit because we have received an overwhelming response from you guys. Like, it's crazy. There's so many great emails, tons of emails from people who want to prove that they can sing, act, dance, and do a magic trick if they need to. And I'm really excited because it's been a long time. We see a lot of things like this, like Talking Heads podcast. Everybody's got a podcast show and a couch and some chairs and whatnot. But it's time for us to get back into the space of real talent. It's really time for us to get back into the space of, art and story. And, the computers are trying to do it, but, don't nothing hit like a Sinners or Wakanda or Friday or anything that Black people do that's just magical and amazing and we come out to see and support, And I love the idea that a lot of content now is actually starting to go back into the theaters. That is really dope, because it's kind of like people buying albums again. You know what I'm saying? I talked about this the other night on the live. That whole feeling of going to a record store, picking out a record, the experience of like the intimacy of listening to a body of work, a complete story. Now all you need is a really good single, a really good one-off, and that's cool. The one thing I said to myself that I am going to stop doing, right, is I'm going to stop criticizing and critiquing my community for the things that we do that irritate the shit out of me and a lot of other people. There's so much stuff out here that we doing and listening to and absorbing. You know what I'm saying? And I guess it's kind of like back in the day when our parents and our grandparents didn't understand Run DMC, or when they didn't understand even worse shit. You know what I'm saying? Tupac, Biggie. You know what I mean? Like they just, and when I say even worse, I mean those are two of the like most incredible rappers. Thank you guys for the hearts. Thank you guys for the likes. Make sure you hit the notification bell as you come in. If you're watching me on Facebook or watching me on LinkedIn, please do me the kind favor, either after this live or whatever, please make sure. Oh my gosh. I love that. Oh, I love that. I'm sorry, I just got distracted by this amazing message. Victoria says, "Hey, Miss Nicci, watching you on my TV makes it feel like you're here in my house." Well, thank you. I will be sure to try to focus on using the appropriate language, you guys, because yeah, I be in this motherfucker. Oh, see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. But long and short, really grateful for the engagement. Really grateful. Please, if you're watching me on the other platforms, even if you continue to watch me on those other platforms, go to the WIRF.TV YouTube channel. Let me explain to you guys, if you don't already know. Many of you already know, and if you already know, please bear with me with this shit, okay? Because, I'm learning too, right? In fact, I'm amazed at some of the things that I'm learning as an analog girl, 90s girl, whatever you want to call it. But YouTube really is, and streaming platforms, and I say YouTube in particular because I still view TikTok. I love y'all, and I know y'all on here with me tonight, and I love and appreciate y'all and all the hearts and everything. But I do think that TikTok and Instagram and even Twitter, are more short form content platforms. And what I can appreciate about YouTube is, I've said this before, Instagram is the flossy, show me what you're working with, promote, highlight, influencer, very influencer friendly. Facebook is, people we went to high school with, aunties, grandma and them, hey, I love y'all, siblings, I love y'all so much. That ain't shade. Twitter is Elon Musk and his agenda, whatever that is, I don't think we're broadcasting on Twitter tonight. There was a problem connecting. Too much real shit, I think, .com. But Instagram tends to be an audience where people, really spend a little bit more time absorbing the long form content. And what we're doing with the WIRF.TV YouTube channel is building a channel. So again, you see a lot of Nicci Jizzle. You see a lot of Miss Daniels if you're nasty, because, it ain't no secret. I saw somebody said they like my earrings. Thank you so much. Sometimes you got to make a statement without saying shit. Sometimes all my jewelry, most of my jewelry is a statement piece or sentimental. I don't just have I guess I have some I don't wear often. Regular jewelry. There's something in all of the jewelry that I wear most of the time. So thank you for appreciating my earrings that I got that are sterling silver from the Supreme Court of the United States. See, the thing is, I went to the courthouse and I visited, and it felt good. I actually sat and I listened to a lecture at the Supreme Court, and I was like, woo-wee. It felt like she was talking to me, baby. And I'm excited about the future. Whatever happens on September 29th, a little bit of housekeeping. For those of you who don't know, my case is in the Supreme Court. It is. And it is being considered in the long conference on September 29th of this year. So we will be finding out probably the following week whether or not they grant our writ of certiorari, which is what we petitioned for. I'm a very confident, very well-informed, very faithful pro se litigant. And I'm glad that I did it pro se, because I feel like I had the opportunity to have the last word, right? If you've ever paid lawyers for anything, and I have amazing lawyers, right? I have awesome, incredible attorneys who are still my friends and we still talk to this day. Bottom line is I just couldn't afford to pay them anymore, and nobody works for free. And the Supreme Court is a huge undertaking, and it is a little bit easier to navigate as a pro se petitioner. So I will be releasing my doc, right? The reason I've held it is because we're still filming and capturing. We've been capturing for over 5 years. In fact, when I went through my litigation with R&B Divas, we were capturing that content as well. So I just always believe you bank the content, capture the content, and when the opportunity presents itself and the timing, God is all that matters to me, says it is time to go, then that is when you do it. So WRF.TV YouTube channel is a platform where you will see lots of great content. I just believe that in this day and in this age, with the access that we have to be able to hit you on TikTok or Twitter or wherever, Instagram, wherever we are, and get directly to our audience is a blessing from God. I think it is definitely an opportunity to level the playing field. And it's part of the reason why I have decided that instead of expressing my opinion, right? And unsolicited a lot of times, because, I'm just going to say what I got to say. I'm from the old school auntie vibes. I learned from the aunties before me. And the thing about us is we just say what the hell we got to say. Like everybody's super sensitive these days. But, I grew up, especially with you guys forget, honey, I'm from Detroit, Michigan. And people say I'm from Detroit and you're like, so what? I'm from Cleveland. But no, it's just something different. And I think that's the reason why it's Funky Geneva. I did an interview. If you guys have not had an opportunity to go over to Funky Geneva's YouTube channel and watch the amazing conversation he and I had, if you did have a chance to watch it, I really appreciate you guys for watching it, and most people enjoyed it. And it's interesting because Funky said at the end of the interview, I think this is really going to change people's opinions of you. And I was thinking to myself, I don't give a sugar honey iced tea, but I do. It feels, I appreciate positive reinforcement and exchanges, right? Nobody likes negative, things said about them or negative experiences with people. Nobody's here for that. So for me to say I don't care is kind of, a little overstated, but I don't let it really penetrate my spirit and break me the way that it used to when I was younger, because I'm 55 motherfucking years old and grown as hell and got way more serious shit that I need to be concerned about than the opinion of somebody who doesn't know me. Speaking of 55, on TikTok, I like that you rock your wisdom. Yeah, honey, it got too hard to be chasing that Beijing, honey. And then your shit was dry. Beijing be on some, okay, let me see. I'm learning. I'm learning that you can't just, we on the phone and on the YouTube, but I can't just blurt shit out about people. But y'all know that product I was talking about and what it does if you've been using it for any amount of time. Anyway. Curtains. Okay, this is turning into a Q&A. Okay. So somebody just said, when does the casting for curtains end and what is the deadline? So if you are interested in curtains, which I'm so geeked up, she geeked up. If you geeked up, then I'm geeked up. Hey, she geeked up. And the reason your girl is geeked up is because the response to the curtains casting has been phenomenal. I said this on my YouTube channel and I said this on Instagram earlier today, so I'm going to say it again to all of you. If I repeat shit and it sounds, I'll move over a little bit so Insta can see. Oh, Lord, that little struggle is okay, I'm not going to get sidetracked. I am so grateful for the response that we have gotten. And I'm so excited. We are going through submissions now. So to answer your question, submissions end when we find our stars. And baby, we gonna find them. Because I was just thinking, you might get 2 or 3 responses, 2 or 3 emails, more than 2 or 3. But people are really excited about this. And here's the thing. if you're submitting for a role, please say, I'm submitting for the role of Carmen. If you feel like there are multiple roles that you could play in Curtains, and what is Curtains? Let's not talk over people's head, J.L. Perry TV, because we know what's going on, but there may be some people who are watching us for the first time who do not know what's going on. So let me not run through it real quick. So, guys, I am shooting a dramatic musical drama series based on my stage play, Soul Kittens Cabaret. Now, if it sounds familiar, it's because, your girl's in the middle of a litigation because there are some people who decided that they was going to make a musical drama series based on Soul Kittens Cabaret too, as far as I'm concerned, allegedly. And that's what I believe, and that's why we're in court, because they just decided they was going to take my shit. Same way that they did on R&B Divas, but, that didn't work, and neither will this. So instead of wallowing in my misery of feeling like I did not have the opportunity to, please hit like, share, and subscribe, and the notification button as you come in. I would really appreciate it. And we be hustling those likes because that is how YouTube knows to give the algorithm to give us some love in the algorithm. Okay, so please hit the like button. Please hit like. Please hit like. I'm going to say it one more time. Please hit like. And if I get enough likes, then I'll sing a song for you. I will sing for the hearts, honey. I will sing for the love. That sounds better. So I decided, back to this Curtains thing, that instead of, because I'm about to throw a bunch of darts at the board and try to find a role. That's what I was going to say, and try to land a role. That's what I was going to say. So this is not going to be a knockoff of P-Valley. So be very clear. Be very, very clear. We don't play those kinds of games. This is not me like, oh, well, they did it, and I'm going to do my shit. Now, no, we do not have a $100 million production budget like the one that Katori Hall was given by Stars. Okay, and that's not something that I'm making up. That's something that the man publicly said. We gave Katori Hall $100 million for P-Valley. Now, I don't know what you do with $100 million with a show like P-Valley, except maybe a whole bunch of writers' rooms and a whole bunch of extra production, but I don't know. That's not my business. My business is we are casting a pilot for the drama series Curtains. We have some incredible roles, and yes, do that. I mean, and when you say throwing darts at landing a role, please have the ability to sing, to act, and to dance. Now, not everybody has to sing, but you have to act and you have to be able to move. You don't have to be a professionally trained dancer. We will make sure that we have plenty of them cast in the series and background to make sure that it makes even a mediocre dancer look absolutely fantastic. But this is a project we will be shooting in Detroit, my hometown, because it is based in Detroit. It is a story about gentrification and the casinos that happened in Detroit. So I said, if I'm going to do this thing and make it real and make it authentic and make it something that really sticks to the ribs, I have to do it where it was originally written in the premise, right? And although we've had judges say, this is an upscale, blah, 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 blah. And we know Detroit just got out of bankruptcy. So over the last 20 years, ain't nothing been upscale about downtown Detroit and the clubs that exist there. But now the city is getting a little fresh and fly and fancy. So I'm really excited to build on this story, right? We're definitely going to go into the casinos. We're definitely going to see that part of it happen, which is one of the reasons why I'm building the story around Detroit and what's actually happening. I'm not even gonna hold you up. If you are an actor from Detroit, we're looking for stars. So for this pilot, again, if you got what it takes and you badass, and it's like, this is my Tata, or this is my Sharita, or this is my Bianca, then, it don't matter where you are. Well, I mean, we're not flying people from Paris, but, if you're in the continental United States, then please submit. And also, if you're just a dope talent and you're not sure if you fit one of the roles, because their descriptions, we have a whole description video. I have a whole description video up. So if you want a character breakdown, it gets really into it. And I tried to, instead of doing like just a couple of words in the description, I tried to be a little bit more specific, because I understand that, there may be you what I like to be specific because I want you to know what you're reading for. I want you to embody who this character is. We do rehearse. We do camera blocking rehearsals, and we do rehearsals where we just do read throughs and we make sure, you know what I'm saying? So be clear, beautiful people. This is, and it's a musical, which when we say musical, you're going to be doing dance numbers, right? That's the reason why you see me posting clips of Soul Kittens Cabaret when we did it in Detroit. You'll see a clip. We had in Detroit, we had Tatiana Ali. She blessed us with her presence in Soul Kittens Cabaret. We had Trinice from American Idol, who's also, ironically, a Memphis native. She's Katori's neighbor. Well, not literally, but, you know, she's from Memphis. But Trinice from American Idol, that's Selena Johnson, Monifa, Tandalea. We had a really awesome cast. Trent Roberts played Tata in Detroit. Joe played Tata in the DVD. Of course, we had Faith and Fantasia in the live DVD. So, hey, beautiful people, I see y'all. I see y'all. Somebody's asking for an update on the court case. I'll give you guys an update on the court case. I love you too. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate y'all so much. And thank you for all of the likes. And please make sure as you're coming in, you hit the like button. I like to try to get to everybody's questions and get through those. But yeah, so if you're auditioning for Curtains, and listen, we've got other roles that I did not post because we're trying to get our lead roles. But Detective Good, who's the dirty cop, he has a wife, and there's a whole story that's building with his wife. Well, I did put Frank Rudder. The thing that's going to be different about the drama series that you did not see in the play is Frank Rudder, who is Frank Rudder Sr., the person who owned the cabaret club before Tata inherited it, is a white man. And he was originally a white man, and this is a perfect example of submit yourself. He was originally a white man in the play, but we could not get an actor who we felt delivered better than Donald Gray, who did an awesome job playing a black version of Frank Rudder. So, you know, it's TV, so we switch things up in the field. Invite Miss Ross. She's a Detroit mama. Listen, I have 2 roles in this amazing story. Okay. And these roles are listed. So again, there's really something in there for everybody. So submit. The only thing I will say is Tata, boys and girls. Let's talk about the role of Tata real quick because I want people to be clear. I want to be no confusion because that has been the subject of a lot of debate all through the federal courts. You feel me? Ooh, this protein shake is good. So Tata Burlesque, Brandy. It's a line from the show. Tata Burlesque is considered gender fluid, right? Which means that he can easily shift between non-binary, woman, or man. Now, again, originally this character was always written as someone who, back in 2004 when I wrote it, I described him as a drag queen and a den mother, and his name is Tata. And Tata is French for auntie, the slang for auntie French, right? Auntie Burlesque. That means whoever auditions for this role is going to have to exist in both worlds. Now, when you hear me say I'm describing the owner of a cabaret as non-binary or gender fluid, then you immediately think, oh, that's Uncle Clifford. I know, right? Totally understand it. The gag is, like I said in my lawsuit, the dynamics of the character has always been the same. The way that we describe the character and the whole concept of pronouns is something that is relatively new for many of us. It's been around for a long time, but it is relatively new. So the character Tata Burlesque better slay that fucking role. Because what you don't want is the Uncle Clifford comparison. We are actively looking for a character who looks nothing like Nico Anand, right? We are actively looking for someone who looks nothing like Uncle Clifford, because there's certain conscious efforts that and I hate to say it that way, because there could be somebody who comes along in this mug who looks exactly like him or close and acting their ass off, and we might just end up casting him in that role. But we want to be respectful, even though the respect was not given to the original writer of the concept, and make sure that we're not doing a mirror image of the Uncle Clifford character. We wanted to feel fresh. We wanted to feel new, even though the story has been told with a 100. Is it based off Soul Kittens Cabaret? Yes, it's based off Soul Kittens Cabaret. So this is the other thing. Someone asked about the case. So since this turned into a Q&A, we're going to go into what is going on with the case. And if you've heard this already, please bear with me. Miss Diana Ross. I know I'm going to talk to you about Miss Diana Ross too. I got to mention that as well. So what's happening with the case is we are September 29th. We are going to what is called the Long Conference for the Supreme Court of the United States, where the 9 justices go into a conference room alone and they look at the cases and determine whether or not they're going to grant writ of certiorari. We are also on the docket for the Long Conference. Stars and Lionsgate and Katori Hall, who has a separate attorney from Stars and Lionsgate, don't ask me why, I don't know. She just halfway through the case decided that she wanted her own representation, so she hired somebody else to represent her. And they're a great boutique firm out of New York, super powerful as well, so I'm facing a lot of super powerful attorneys. But, I mean, they're women, so there that is. That's, one positive. And, yeah, so September 29th, go Long Conference. I hate to make this comparison, but if there is anything that I can say to remind you, or to remind you to look at when it comes up, is it is the same day, because what I want is for people, hopefully, to pray with us on September 28th, which is that Sunday. We're doing I'm hosting a prayer call, because that Monday is when they're, going to determine whether or not, and actually I'm going to be praying most of this September, which is Creatives Equality Awareness Month. I'll talk to you guys about that too, from the bottom of foundation.org. Our nonprofit is where you can register for that. Every Sunday in September, we're going to have a conversation with a creative who is advocating for equality and, fairness for creatives, because we all deserve it. But Ghislaine Maxwell from the Jeffrey Epstein case. I don't even know if I probably should say that on my socials and on my YouTube. But that guy. Excuse me. She is also going before the Supreme Court on that date. So you guys, I want to show y'all something real quick. Speaking of creatives equality, this is some of our gear. This is a hoodie, a Creatives for Equality hoodie, and this is a Creatives for Equality t-shirt. If you guys are on TikTok, you won't see it until it's in my TikTok shop. I think I can do that. I'll show it to y'all, but please hit Creatives for Equality t-shirt and a Creatives for Equality hoodie. Those will be available on fromthebottomupfoundation.org. It's very important that we do this Creatives for Equality. Gag for Your Life said, that is my role. I love it. 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 It's so many great roles in here. So back to the Diana Ross thing. The roles of good and bad conscience. Let me talk to y'all about that real quick. This is a little story time. So, and it's interesting because the second season, I believe, of P-Valley, they had a spirit visit the club, right? And the spirits in the club have always been a part of Soul Kittens Cabaret. So even though when you look at it in the stage play, what time is it? Okay, 38 minutes. I ain't too long-winded yet. Even though when you look at it in the stage play, you see these spirits that were played by my sisters, Faith and Fantasia. And please, my friends did that for me as a solid as my friends. They probably would have read that script if it was anybody else and somebody else that they didn't know and said, please, ma'am, no, thank you. But they showed up for me. They showed up for me because I asked them to, because I needed them to. And I'm so grateful that Faith and Fantasia showed up. And I'm grateful for everybody. I always say Faith and Fantasia, like every other person who participated in the Soul Kittens Cabaret isn't just as important and contributed in a very big way. But the bottom line is, being the real auntie, things don't get made a lot of times unless there is a recognizable face, a recognizable voice, a recognizable name. And I just thank God that those two recognizable faces, voices, and names were available and, showed up for me. So as you judge, which we took it down from online. So if y'all see Soul Kittens Cabaret playing anywhere online, would you please give your girl a jingle so I can go on ahead and issue that copyright strike? Because it's not supposed to be playing anywhere, right? And I have the ability to make that determination because yeah. So Tata definitely will be by. Let me talk about good and bad conscience real quick because I was talking about Faith and Fantasia. So the concept of good and bad conscience, and that could be anybody. So when you said Diana Ross, honey, listen, I dream big. My mama told me, listen, shoot for the moon. If you don't make it, you're going to end up along the stars. I know they tell everybody's mama told them that. But my mama told me and I believed her. And I did. I shot for the moon and ended up at Michael Jackson. So there's that. And Tyler Perry and a bunch of other dope ass motherfucking people that I shot for the moon and ended up amongst. But good conscience and bad conscience represent the spirit of dancers who worked at the club in the 1930s, right? This club has been around for a long time. This is Hollywood. Well, it's not Hollywood. It's actually quite the polar opposite of Hollywood. But think Hollywood when you think about making content, right? And, well, no, don't think Hollywood when you think about making content either. Scratch all of that. It is just a story of where these spirits who used to perform in the club are still in the club. And one of them is the spirit of a harlot, honey. She's a spirit of a harlot. She is who would be in modern day Soul Kittens Cabaret, probably Bianca, right? A little mixture of Bianca and Holiday. Because in the drama series, the character Hollywood, that bitch is a little sinister too. Hollywood been around the block a few times. You feel me? So Holiday. I said Hollywood. Holiday has been around the block a few times, and she's got a really compelling story. But Bad Conscience, whose name is not, in fact, Bad Conscience. Her name is Lola. She was called Bad Conscience in the play just because, again, it was early development phase or whatever. But her name is Lola. And, of course, we get Lola from whatever Lola wants, Lola gets. And she represents an energy in the club for the women that is dark and, traumatized and insecure and, how like back in the day we used to see the cartoons where they would have the angel and the devil on your shoulder. Well, she would be the devil on your shoulder, right? And that is the role that my sister friend Faith Evans played. And then there's Amber. And Amber is good conscience. Amber is the character that Fantasia played. And of course, she is the voice of reason, and she is the innocence, and she is the character in the film that shows up to push the women in the direction of positivity and light and goodness, right? And the reason I thought those characters were so important to include, and it's interesting because, again, I was never pitching a stage play to the CEO of Lionsgate that I met with. I was not pitching him a stage play. I was pitching him a drama series, the very drama series I'm casting right now, right to the now, Curtains, the spinoff of Soul Kittens Cabaret. And all of the script, for the most part, is the same as the dramatic series pilot script that I left with him, along with the DVD and copies of the stage play and everything else. So they had a great blueprint to use, if that is in fact what happened, which is what we're trying to get to court to find out. Got to make sure I say that. If I pause and fish around for words and try to make sure I'm saying the right thing, it's just because supporters ain't the only ones watching. It's somebody with an ink pen. They had already said it. They screen recording, ink pen and line by line, and the nose hairs ain't clipped, and, got food in the teeth and me. Like that looking. So be clear. The reason I fish around sometimes is because I want to make sure that somebody's not going to do the aha. She just said something that wasn't true about us. We're going to sue her for defamation of character. as if character exists in someone who takes something from somebody else. But see that's tinkering. That's kind of tinkering on it. That's cutting it a little close. But that's just my opinion on public figures. How about that? Oh yeah, we're gonna teach a class for sure. We praying Virgo's got you, Nicci. Let's see what y'all are saying over here, because yeah, your girl is remember. It's based off Kittens Cabaret. Yes, that was a little behind. Much love, Nicci. Aw, thank you. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. So Curtains is happening, and the characters and the roles are super exciting. I'm sitting here studying my lines for a stage play I've been casting and watching you too. You told me about that. Good luck with that. I cannot wait to see it. I know it's going to be fabulous, and I know you're going to act your ass off. And when you get finished, make sure you submit for Curtains, baby. I was going to get into some of these hot topics, you guys. One of them was Megan Good getting her husband's a tattoo. The other one was Diddy's twins. These are all stories from, oh my goodness. I don't know if y'all saw this. I don't have the clip. But did y'all see the clip of the YouTubers Nina Unrated and Patrick Blackwood, who narrowly escaped a complete tragedy while they were doing a food review? And the car smashed into the window. Talk about, oh, somebody said I spilled some drink in my hair. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. Ooh, this thing is up close and personal. That's actually being funny. No, it was drink in my hair. But they actually narrowly escaped what could have been the end of them. Talk about angels being real. Talk about guardian angels showing up, right? They shared their injuries online, noting that it could have been much more. You guys, they played that mug in slow motion. Go over to the Jasmine brand and take a look when you have a chance. It was cray-cray. It was just nothing but God. It was nothing but having angels on your side. So real quick, you guys, I don't want to put the picture up here because I'm learning what things I can and cannot speak on and share and show in these YouTube and social media streets. But some told me this was going to happen. Take a sip of my protein. Boo-boo. Something told me this was going to happen. Let me tell y'all something about being chunky and being a big back. And I know I'm a big back. The big backery is big backing. It just is. You know? You ain't nothing but a big bag, yeah. Listen, I just ain't quick to inject nothing in my body. And when I say none, I'm just not I don't do you want a gummy, you want an edible? No, if I can't control. And listen, we talking about injecting shit in your body. Half the shit we eat has been injected with something. But I'm saying directly injecting something in my body is just a huge no-no for me. And as much as I don't want to be in the big backery of it all, I've had cosmetic surgery. I ain't never lied about it. I ain't never gonna lie about it. Right? You know what I'm saying? I've had cosmetic surgery to reduce the big backery of things. And now I'm eating better. Y'all see, I made dinner tonight for my family. And I didn't even partake. I'm drinking my watermelon protein shake. But baby, that Ozempic, that Zepbound, got 2,000. Okay, let me read the article and stop talking so much. More than 2,000 lawsuits have been filed in the United States against the makers of Ozempic and Zepbound, right? With patients alleging, and I'm just whispering because I don't, like I said, I got enough legal problems. I don't need no more. Please hit like. And please hit the notification button so that you know when I'm going live. So I can come in here and talk your fucking ear off every night, right? But makers of Ozempic and Zepbound, with patients alleging life-threatening side effects linked to the popular diabetes and weight loss drugs. The consolidated litigation based in Pennsylvania federal court is now in the discovery phase. In February 2024, the judicial panel on multi-district litigation grouped the cases into MDL number 3094, and by August 2025, Legal trackers reported over 2,000 active cases. Attention has increasingly turned to Zepbound, approved in 2023. The FDA updated its label in 2025 to include ILEUS. Both companies deny wrongdoing, maintaining that the product information complies with federal standards and risks are clearly outlined. What are your thoughts on these shocking claims? So basically what they're saying is that Zepbound and Ozempic, which are weight loss injections, patients are alleging gastroparesis, intestinal blockages, and other severe side effects. Listen, Linda. Hey, Dave. Why? Why what? Oh, why? Maybe you're talking about what I was talking about. Listen, y'all. As much as I want to have all of my weight loss woes over. And listen, here's the thing. Let me say this real quick. Be very clear. People make their decisions based on what they believe. Excuse me, this protein shake is giving me hiccups. People make their decisions based on what they think is best for them. And there are some people who have faced morbid obesity, right? Or who are just tired of the struggle, who are like, fuck it, it's worth it. It's worth the risk, right? You know, going into this, that there is no miracle cure, guys. There's just no magic pill that you can take without there being any side effects. So you really have to make the decision to weigh the pros versus the cons, right? And that's really hard to do when you don't know what the potential side effects could be. But let me tell you something, Linda. Let me tell you something. No, that's Fire Marshal Bill. Let me tell you something. Can't be serious because this is serious. But don't nothing work like taking your motherfucking ass to the gym. Now I'm sounding like Plies, but I mean it. Baby, listen, I have committed myself to mind, body, and physical health, spiritual health. And that requires me to be active in going to the gymnasium and being mad about it if I have to be, and tired and not wanting to do it, but still pushing through, because working out and dieting are the safest ways for you to lose weight, period. And not only does it change your weight, but it also helps improve your cardiovascular health. It helps improve your muscles and all that other stuff. And you know, the aesthetic is a side effect of it. What it does, and I say this all the time, what working out does for me mentally is way more beneficial than any physical, right? I mean, keeping it real, the physical benefits of working out are awesome. But it is, I call it a clinic, not a gym, because I literally go in feeling one type of way, and I always leave feeling better. You know what I'm saying? Feeling like my blood is flowing, feeling like it's circulating. In fact, you guys, if you're not following, I showed it earlier this week. I think last week I showed it. Please hit like. Please give me likes. Give me likes. Give me love. I might sing a tune. Give me some love. Give me some likes. Hello. Hit that like and subscribe button. Hello. Hello. Oh, okay. So Dave is here. So Dave said when taking any, let me put you up here. I love you, Dave. Dave was in Kittens Cabaret. Dave played Wallow in Kittens Cabaret. But you guys might know Dave from Men at Large. He is an incredible singer, my brother, my Cleveland brother. Dave said, when taking any med, do your research and also go to your doctors regularly, all of them. Nothing is safe. I lost 150 plus pounds on Mounjaro. You have to constantly check everything every month. Okay? So, and here's the thing. First of all, let me not just zip past that. What up, though, Dave? Hold on. Where we at? Why can't I hear it? Is my mic okay, you guys? Hold on. Is my mic okay? Y'all can hear me? Yes, mic is okay. One more for Dave. One more for Dave. Taliba. 150 pounds. So see, here's that. So Dave, and you know, we go way back. So I remembered you when you were a little more fluffy, brother. But you remember me when I was a little more fluffy too, nigga. Fluffy as hell. But you look great. Your cholesterol, your high blood pressure, all that other stuff. I don't know that you ever had high blood pressure. You could be perfectly healthy. I'm just saying. When a person who has more to gain from taking a weight loss drug that will help them get better maintenance of their, health, and like you said, test it every month. What did you say, Manjaro? I think I'm saying that right. He said Manjaro is something that you have to check consistently every month, and he did. That is awesome sauce. So there's not a one size fit all cure for weight loss, but there are obviously people who have had a tremendous amount of success with it. So, I ain't raining on nobody's parade. I guess we won't be shocked when we see sudden rapid weight. She said, I guess we won't be shocked when we see a sudden rapid weight gain among some of those in Hollywood. I mean, thank you. I like my earring. Thank you so much. It zoomed in on Instagram. Oh, right. Because Instagram. Oh, that's right, you guys. Oh, y'all probably. Ooh, my nostrils is probably all up in Instagram. I'm sorry, IG, if y'all, but we real up close and personal over here on Instagram. I forgot the whole situation. Hold on. TikTok made me do this puzzle piece just to make sure I'm still bumping my gums. Please make sure you guys hit like, share, and subscribe. Hey, Haley, you are clocking it. Put it in their faces. They are not stopping nothing. That's right, boo. Enjoy YouTube and IG pages, sending you support and positive vibes from Denver. Thank you, Saint Marie. I appreciate you. People are loving the earrings. I love that. My sister and I were talking about that. We hate going to the gym, but we love leaving and feel good. Don't it feel good? It's like, listen, you guys, I'm so serious. Like, because of what I do for a living, because I'm running my big ass around on stage singing at 55 years old with these two young girls that's singing their faces off and way more physically fit than my ass, I have to make sure that going to the gym is a part of my lifestyle. Not just because of that, but it is very important when you are putting on a show and want to give people their money's worth and not just sit on a bench or stand there and sing, that your big ass can get out there and do what you need to do. So my big ass be in the gym, even in those moments when I don't want to be there. And I'm telling you, when I go in that mug, I be feeling like, go down, Moses, way down the knee. And when I leave out, I'll be like, baby, let's stop playing. What? These is bloody shoes. These expensive. These is red bottoms. Baby, when I come up out that gym, baby, I've been feeling like a whole nother person. And the reason why is because my body gets blood flow, right? It is because, and it starts when you sit in the sauna. You know what I'm saying? And you get your stretch on and you're like, okay, I ain't want to come to this motherfucker, but I'm feeling good about myself. And then the sweat and the toxins and what I love to do when I'm in the gym is I'm listening either to some praise and worship, or I'm listening to some moving meditation music. You know what I'm saying? Just taking a moment to like really process, right? And I try to be off my phone, but here, y'all, I've been real busy editing shit. Y'all see these clips. Matter of fact, when you guys watch the clips on WIRF.TV YouTube, not just the clips, we got entire episodes from the Bottom Up series. Season 1, Season 2, and Season 3 will be available in September on WIRF.TV YouTube channel. So your girl has been working overtime, editing archival footage so that I can serve it up to y'all, but also editing the new shit. And boy, oh boy, do we got some new shit. She always come out with a shake that night. Be like, what the pop, wow. She always does it every now and then. Nick, I need to talk to you. I need you to be a mentor to my daughter. She is at Okay, I'm gonna put that business in the street. I'd love for y'all to be a mentor. I would love to talk. Okay, look, Dave, you my people. So let's talk about it. Now listen, now you just heard me. Now you just heard, nigga, you just heard me say how busy I was. But I will do it for you. And whenever there's an opportunity to mentor a young woman or a young man in our community, I'm 100% for it. And since you family, ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. B Trip 504 said, "Thank you for the words of encouragement." You're very welcome. Y'all encourage me every single day. I told y'all I'd be on this situation over here like working it like a salt shaker, because they say that's what you got to do. But it does yield results. You just have to really get into it and work really hard in the beginning of this here thing. Okay, let me look in here before we get into the next topic, and see if there are any more questions that I need to respond to. You guys, please make sure y'all hit the notification bell. Off topic, Miss Nicci. Actress Maia Campbell, who was recovered and looks beautiful, would be good on curtains. I would love to see her back on TV, on our TV screens, acting. Maia has been doing really good, you guys. Say a prayer for Maia and her family and her daughter, that they continue to do as well as they are doing, and she continues to thrive. She is one of my favorite humans on this planet, just because the vulnerability and the honesty. And y'all think, listen, Maia Campbell is funny AF. Maia Campbell has a sense of humor that will not quit. And it's crazy because I have, we did like couple pre-interviews, just to make sure that it was all good before we put cameras in her face. You know what I mean? Because unlike other shows, we really like to make sure that people are, even if you're going to show your vulnerability, even if you're going through a valley, even if you're in a dark place, at least being motivated to get out of it, and knowing what you're getting yourself into. So we do like a decent sort of intake, interview and stuff like that. And I was just looking back at some of the footage, and Maia had everybody in stitches. She is just really great sense of humor, really humble spirit, and just, for her to go, she went into a dark, dark place. And, some of us saw it and, watched, in disbelief. But baby, that comeback, you know what I mean? That cleaning up your act, that, her daughter just graduated and she's brilliant, and just, I wish her the best. I wish all the women from the bottom up the best. In fact, I would love to do a from the bottom up, where are they now? Because they're all doing so much better. You guys see me post images and video of Sarah Stokes and her former husband. Keep in mind that Tony is her former husband. He is not her current husband. She is remarried, has a new son, and life is so much better than it was. But I applaud these women's ability. Every woman that was on From the Bottom Up, I applaud their ability to be as transparent and vulnerable as they were on the show. And I thank you guys for really receiving their stories as something to support and not judge too harshly. And some of y'all be going hard in the paint. I ain't gonna hold you up, right? Which is why I use that block button like a nice punch in the nose. Because, I just feel like, because, some of the shit you just say is just mean and toxic and destructive, and more of a representation of who the fuck you are and where you are in your life than anybody else. But to criticize somebody who is sharing their pain, to criticize someone who is willing to be vulnerable and open in the industry, where people will take your story and run with it and make it something really terrible and try to humiliate you and embarrass you, it takes a really low vibrational human being. And I know that there are some of y'all motherfuckers out there, right? But I just enjoy like slapping y'all with the big block, like pow pow. You know what I'm saying? It's actually funny, and I laugh sometimes because I'm just like, and then I might throw you a little something back, like. Sometimes I'm feeling froggish enough to leap into the shady shit, so I do it. And I do that first, and then I block your ass. But it's just, kind of refreshing. It's like that little plastic that you pop the little thing and you make it flat. That's what I feel like I'm doing. When you leave a dumbass comment on a page when somebody is pouring out their heart and sharing their truth, and you have something toxic and destructive and negative to say, it's like popping those little plastic things that protect the bag, but then it goes flat and it can't come up no more. That's what the block feels like. I know that was a lot. But I like doing that. Just makes me feel like I'm, shut the fuck up. Okay, it's too late. It's too late for the bullshit. I turned extremely Detroit. If you're new to WIRF.TV YouTube channel or to my TikTok or to any of the places where you are watching me, please do me the kind favor of hitting like, share, and subscribe. And do understand that I do really have a good heart, but I just don't be about the bullshit. And I keep it really real, and sometimes I become very Detroit. I don't know where that shit comes from. If you were to cast R&B divas for men, if you were to cast R&B divas for men, who would you cast? This is a question from the Tick and the Talk. Well, I have to be being careful out here in these whole thievery streets, right? Because people don't have original ass ideas. So if I say too much, I might have to be in court again. Which, don't get it twisted. This P Valley thing and even the R&B Divas thing is not something that shies me away from ever going back to legally fight for my rights of any kind. Well, she's going to do that no matter what happens here. You know what I mean? Especially now that I know I can do that shit myself. Oh, I might be serving a whole lot of motherfuckers. But anyway, I digress. I believe that there would be a really great show that is a male companion to R&B Divas that Faith and I have already been talking about. And I don't want to tell you what the name of it is, and nor do I want to tell you who the people are, because next thing you know, I'll look up in no shade, but Carlos King and Todd Tucker will be producing it, and it'll be called, R&B Kings. I mean, you know what I mean? And that's no shade, but, it was kind of shady what happened with Hollywood Divas. And I like them both. I think they're dope, but yeah, I didn't have nothing to do with R&B Divas, but the producers that we brought on board for R&B Divas actually got credit to do Hollywood Divas and credited as producers on Hollywood Divas. And yeah, this industry is really shady, in case you didn't know. Yeah. So I can't tell you who the men are, but I can tell you that me and Faith have already been talking about that. And y'all might be getting it. Nicci, you're looking gorgeous. Oh, please, thank you guys. Y'all feeling these silver streaks, honey. And you're right, but they will steal your idea. Yeah, it's crazy. Where can I watch all the episodes? Okay, they're asking on TikTok where you can watch all the episodes. You can watch all the episodes. Well, you're probably talking about all the episodes of R&B Divas. Unfortunately, until some business is handled on R&B Divas, you won't be seeing all the episodes of R&B Divas airing anywhere. I got a little bit of inside baseball on that, and it's just, again, it's just one of those situations where if people weren't so busy trying to be me, and we're more, motivated for it to be we or unity or us, we, them, they, you would have it. The only reason why you don't have reruns of R&B Divas, and the only reason why you don't have another season of R&B Divas, quite frankly, is ego, right? Because I'm open. I'm 100% open. And I don't have a problem working with all the same people again, right? Bottom line is, it's just going to be a different deal, honey. We're just not doing the type of deal we did before. The one that lacked equity and equality for the person that created the series. So if we can have a fair, amicable, reasonable solution. In fact, I don't even have to be in the show because I'm focused so much on scripted. And when I finish with Curtains, I have a film that we're going to start pre-production on next year. I'm not waiting on any of my scripts no more. I'm not waiting for them people for shit. So y'all going to see a really huge change in the amount of content, the quality of content, and the placement of content over the next 12 months from your girl. Don't get it twisted. We are definitely all up in now. Hi, Nicci. I hope your day was wonderful. I wanted to ask you, have you ever considered doing a gospel project one day? You know what is really interesting? My cousin Karen, may she rest in peace. She always told me that she felt like I was going to do a gospel project. She always told me she really wanted me to do a gospel project. And I believe that is definitely something inspirational, right? I like to think of it more as inspirational than gospel, right? Because I think they go hand in hand, but I really believe that the world needs to be inspired on a global level, right? Not a specific genre of music that isolates other people. I want to really do something that is globally inspiring and all about inspiring people through the lyrics and and a lot of the music and the songs that I've written historically throughout my career, have been songs. I think that's the reason why If You Love Me is such a big record, because not only is it a great shout out to Gordon Chambers and Dave Hall, my co-writers on the song If You Love Me, but not only is it a great record and a great harmony and a great, vibe as far as that goes, it is lyrically, right? Like imagine living in a world where, well, we do live in a world where this happens because the song is still in rotation and a lot of people have been inspired by it. But, it was just back in the day when saying, if you love me, say it. Don't just say it, but do it and show it and prove it. You know what I mean? Actions speak louder than words. Like the lyrical content of songs like that, I believe, is part of the reason why the songs are still in heavy rotation to this day. Because thank you so much, Erica. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I believe that is the reason why to this very day the songs are in rotation. Please hit like, please hit notification button, and please subscribe to WRF.TV YouTube channel. That's why it's doing so well. So my long-winded ass, I be all over the place, and looking at these comments and trying to answer all these questions takes me even more all over the place. What is the channel for your show on the radio? So it isn't on the radio, but I'm glad you said that, because that was something that I always wanted to do growing up. I always wanted to be a radio personality, which is why y'all are getting Nights with Nicci. And the name of the channel is WIRF.TV YouTube. And WIRF is an acronym for Women in Reality, Film, and TV, Music, and Media. So please. Chris Breeze, or C Breeze 40, I'm sorry, says, a special prayer to all the families dealing with dementia. My dad is unfortunately dealing with it, and it ain't no joke. Dear Lord, please cover C Breeze 40 and any other family who is dealing with Alzheimer's, dementia. My Aunt Faye dealt with it. I know other people who have parents who are dealing with it right now. Lord God, cover those families, cover those caregivers, Jesus. Caregiving is one of the most honorable jobs that a human being can ever do, but it is also one that takes a lot of time and a lot of patience and a lot of love and a lot of energy. So I'm praying that whoever is caring for Sea Breeze's dad and other people's parents who may be suffering from Alzheimer's and dementia, I hope that those caregivers' hands are blessed and they are patient and they are loving and they treat every patient like they were their own family member. You guys, we have got to pray for one another. We have got to, I know it's like really easy to pick people apart. I know it's really easy to fall into the space of the gossip and the innuendo and the bullshit and honey iced tea. But I really hope that as a community of people, we understand that we are so much stronger together. And it is so much better to just support. Y'all, we are decent people, right? Like, we are decent people. What happened to, and I'm asking this question because I thought it was just in my family, but I was talking to a couple of friends of mine and I'm like, everybody's family is going through this thing where it's just like, and maybe it's because, the matriarchs of our families are no longer, well, we still have matriarchs and a lot of people's families have this. So I'm not generalizing. I'm just saying I've noticed that whole elder love and respect and the unity that the elders in the families brought is missing with so many families that I know. And maybe it's just me. Maybe y'all, maybe it's just me. But even I noticed when my sister was going through her cancer battle, and I was a caregiver with her, and I just missed the time when, people would show up, you know what I mean? And there were people who were showing up, but not to the degree that I remember from back in the day. Y'all know, like the whole church coming, everybody coming. And here's the thing. At first it stung a little bit, right? At first it stung and I was just kind of like, well, damn, you know what I mean? But then I was like, but people really are just trying to do their best to hold their shit together. We really did just come off of a pandemic. Our parents really are aging out. Most of us who give us sugar, honey, iced tea, goddamn, is, at that age where, yeah, we are becoming the elders in the families. And a lot of us are also raising young children and taking care of elderly parents and taking care of friends and stuff. So it's really difficult to judge anybody for not being able to show up for you when people are just doing the best job that they can to show up for themselves, which is why when I say I really appreciate people who, the fact that you guys show up and you hit like and you hit subscribe and you share, at the end of the day, these apps and these platforms will be the way that we communicate with each other from here on out. So building your community, building people who support your work and show up for what you do is tantamount right now, right? Like it used to be that you just kind of sit back and chill and go collect your check and do your dates and shit. But everybody's affected by this. And I say it all of the time. Our entire community is affected by the economy, by the fact that we have had to suffer through pandemics, lawsuits, like this Diddy shit. Let me say this real quick. And this is something that a lot of people, I'm going a little long. I'm gonna wrap this up in a minute. But this is something a lot of people don't really acknowledge. That Diddy thing gutted this industry. And the whole world is not about this industry, but regular everyday people who rely on artists and creatives to provide an escape from the monotony, from their day to day, whatever it is, corporate America, teachers, whatever it is. When you go out and have a drink, when you go out and you chill and play cards with your family, or you're in the kitchen cooking, like music and art and creativity is the soundtrack of our lives. There are so many positive memories connected to Earth, Wind, and Fire. There's so many positive memories connected to Frankie Beverly and Maze. There's so many positive memories connected to Luther and Al Jarreau and like all of these. Give me a break. Like Prince and Michael, and you hear those songs and it takes you back to a place that you could feel proud of. It takes you back to a place where you could feel like, wow, I remember Auntie such and such, and I remember Uncle such and such, and I remember that Cadillac, and I remember the ice cream truck, and I remember, it takes you back, the nostalgia. It is really healing for a lot of us when artists give you great music. We were talking about gospel songs earlier today. Thank you guys. Please hit like, please hit like, please hit like. We were talking about gospel songs earlier and talking about how that positively impacted our culture and how that got us through slavery and how that, was a part of what got us through slavery. And how music was a part of the civil rights movement. It was such an important part of our civil rights movement. And now when you see what is happening with Puff or Diddy and everybody else in the entertainment industry, it really is, it guts you. It really it takes you to a place of like, well, damn. Like, can we have anything positive? Can we have anything good? And absolutely, Royal, I'm praying for you and yours as well. Victoria, I'm praying as well. My mom had dementia. It's no joke. It's so very hard. Absolutely. You guys, I want to say this real quick before I get off. I'm going to come to your comment, fabulous. What is that? Fabulosity, babe. Because that's an interesting point, and that's a very important point to make. But real quick, you guys, I want to plug this. My sister passed away from glioblastoma, which is a incurable form of brain cancer. I deal with grief every single day. I'm not going to stay on this too much because I'm having one of them weeks, right? But we're doing a 5K in Detroit at Belle Isle. There's a link in my bio on Instagram. I'm going to make sure that I put it in the subject and in the description here on YouTube. Even if you're not in Detroit and can't participate in the 5K walk, if you could donate $1, $2, $3, it is called Head for the Cure. The organization has been around for years. Last year we walked with my sister. She walked with us, and unfortunately she passed away on March 23rd of this year and lost her battle with glioblastoma. So we are walking in Deborah Gilbert's name. So just if you don't find the link in my bio, just remember head for the cure, and Deborah Gilbert's team. Join Team Deborah. We would love for you to walk with us, and if you can't, we would love for you to just donate what you can, because a lot of people have lost loved ones, and a lot of young people. My sister was 49 years old. One of the is an actress who unfortunately passed away to the disease. A lot of people, I think Matumbo as well, just a bunch of people have been impacted. Jovita Moore, yeah, a bunch of people have been impacted by glioblastoma. And thank you all. Thank you so much. So please, oh, and you're in Detroit. Yep, absolutely. That would be awesome sauce. So I wanted to get to this question real quick, or this comment from Fabulosity Babe on my TikTok. She said, please hit like, and please hit the notification buttons, like, share, and the notification button. But Fabulosity Babe said, Diddy is not the only Diddy in the industry. His music legacy is still intact. So I agree that Diddy is not the only Diddy in the industry. I agree with that 100%. And honestly, whether or not his legacy is still intact is really going to be a question of what happens in the future. I would love to see. I was going to share a story about what happened with his daughters, but I'll share it tomorrow night. It's a ride, an amusement park ride, and whatever. But I would love to see this be a turning point for Diddy. I would love to see this be an opportunity for Diddy to lean into healing in our community, right? I do believe that his fan base, people who love Diddy are going to love Diddy. A lot of people felt like he was overcharged, right? I honestly felt like he was overcharged. Based on what I was presented, I was like, well, this doesn't seem to be enough to put him away forever. I do not agree with his behavior. I've said this a million times, so don't come at me about it, right? I come on at 10:30 p.m. Usually it'd be closer to 11. But I try to get on here at 10:30 p.m. nightly. Nights with Nicci, yes. Come on. Thank you for asking. And please make sure you go to my Worth.tv YouTube. And if you hit the notification button, it will let you know when I'm live. Because, we got a lot going on. So sometimes I'll be a little behind the ball. But I would like to see Diddy use this as an opportunity to really lean into helping our community to heal. Right. And I think that the people who support him will always support him. But I think this is a great opportunity for him to support causes and organizations, that help women who are victims of domestic violence, women who are the victims of SA. Oh, I was supposed to use another word. I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to use the words DV on these socials. I'm learning. Will it undo some of the trauma and the damage that has allegedly been done to some of the victims that are alleging he did horrible things? No, it won't undo any of it. But, I have to say, I've said this a million times. Yes, what happened with Cassie was so terrible. It was awful. We all saw it. It was really, really terrible. But again, that is not what he was on trial for, because that was past the statute of limitations. I do believe that the tape was released so that we would be like, oh, he's a terrible, horrible, god-awful human being. And, it would lend itself to making it more believable that he did some of the things that the people said that he did. But if you didn't present the evidence that proved that he did that, then the man was found not guilty, and he deserves the opportunity to move on with his life. And he doesn't have to acknowledge anything or anybody once he does his time. Once he pays his penance, once he does what the court tells him he has to do, he can get back to his family and start the process of rebuilding. But I hope that in the process of rebuilding, that he understands how important it is to amplify the voices, if not of women and men, because both men and women are victims, to amplify the voices of people who are helping and advocating for victims and fearless enough to tell stories, right, that help educate, inform, and inspire people. Because what I'm afraid of is part of the reason why I'm so passionate about, these types of issues is because my mother went through it when she was younger. I know several other family members and friends and people who have gone through it. I know people going through DV incidents right now, and nobody cares. And it's not a big issue. And it ain't no big press and no big headlines and shit. Because if you're not a superstar, or it's not salacious, or it's not something that's going to get you likes and views and all of that other shit because it's Diddy or because it's this person, people don't really care. And I know that for sure because I've been actively pursuing content. I mean, bottom line is From the Bottom Up, which is airing on WIRF.tv. We literally helped put a child predator. I don't even know if I was supposed to say that either. Lord God, I ain't gonna be able to monetize my YouTube shit. It's a damn shame you can't say the real shit. But anyway, a child predator literally was sentenced to 30 to 60 years in prison because Sarah Stokes, who also dealt with Diddy, who also has a claim that allegedly some inappropriate things went on. I'm going to leave that alone. But Sarah Stokes was the victim of SA several times as a 4-year-old and as a teenager at the hands of her own father. And the fact is, the girl across the street, who was 13 years old at the time that this started happening, saw Sarah on From the Bottom Up and ended up, one thing led to another, and her father ended up getting arrested. So we took a predator off the street with a series that Queen Latifah and I and Flavor Unit and BET Her produced, and not many people watched, and not many people cared. And to this day, people may not watch or care, but if Diddy was the person that was doing the predatory behavior, then we'd be through the roof. It'd be millions of views everywhere. But because it is not a celebrity, because it is not somebody high profile, because it is not something that is going to generate clicks and likes for major publications and major platforms, it doesn't matter. This happens. There are a bunch of missing children in Virginia right now. We have all kinds of content on this very YouTube channel. We had a whole sheriff in Michigan because there were a bunch of missing kids in Detroit, which is part of the reason I was so passionate about pursuing this thing with Kelly Price and making sure she was okay. So there are all these things that happen to regular everyday people all the time, and they do not generate this kind of press and this kind of attention, and it's fucked up. It's terrible. So what I hope is that since we can't get mainstream media to actually lean in and engage when it comes to people in our community who have been victimized far worse. I'm sorry, what we saw with Cassie was terrible. But the fact that it was Cassie, the fact that it was Diddy made the world pay more attention than the mother who was pow-powed in front of her children, and they have to live with the image of that for the rest of their lives. Or the young girl who was 7 years old when somebody did X, Y, and Z, A, B, C. There is far more horrific, terrible shit out here happening in this world. And unfortunately, we live in one that only gives you attention if you got clickbait. And clickbait comes with popularity. So I hope that Diddy sees an opportunity to leverage this accusation and really helps people. And I think then, which is a long-winded ass answer to the question about Diddy's, situation or whatever, I think then it starts to rebuild his legacy, restore if that is possible, right? He was found not guilty. So again, he shouldn't be considered any of the things that people assumed about him. And that's the other thing we got to stop doing. We got to stop acting as though and talking as though and judging as though we were in the room when the shit was happening. Because most people who are out here in these streets talking about like somebody, I don't know, you're a mean girl. Ma'am, when did we meet, sis? Did we go to high school together? Have you been to my house? What do you know about me to call me a mean girl? Some shit that you thought you knew based on a narrative that was painted by culturally incompetent white male lens that don't give a fuck, So we thought we knew all this stuff about Diddy, and we found out that we're not, and we were not. Are we getting another season of P-Valley? I don't know, honey. I couldn't tell you. And like I said, the last live, and somebody asked me, I could give two shits. We're going to get another season of Curtains, which is the series that inspired P Valley as far as I'm concerned. So we're getting that. And again, we should be filming that pilot in probably late October, November. We'll start filming the pilot, but the most important thing is that we cast the hell out of it. Do you come on at the same time? Yes, I try to. Anywho, let's see. It wasn't just Cassie. He did many of his artists dirty. I won't ever forgive what he did to Black Rob. I want nothing to do with him. I honestly think you should move on to the next topic because people like Diddy can't be helped. Phoenix Will Rise. First of all, I love Phoenix Will Rise. I actually did a song where those very same words are in it. Like a phoenix, you will rise from the bottom up. Yep, it's available on all platforms. I think we should talk about these things. And on my platform, that's what we do. And I know that you think that we should move on. And I know that you have this idea. I'm about to be finished in a second. Oh, shit, am I that long? Ooh, this is another long-winded ass live. I'm going to wrap it up in a minute. But, talking about what happened with Diddy is very important. And this is the reason why it's very important. And the reason why we talk about it here, I am speaking from the perspective of someone who knows that this entire industry was built on that behavior. It wasn't just Diddy. The misogyny, the disrespect, the chauvinism, the lack of equality, the lack of opportunity is something that has this industry was built on, right? And the only way that we will ever get to a place where we can start healing and moving forward and sharing truths and being honest about our experiences so that future generations can learn from the past is if we talk about the shit. Right? Because you don't like someone and you believe that you know exactly what happened and exactly how it went down and you weren't there. I understand there is so many rumor and so much innuendo and there's so much, well, he did this and he did this to this person and he did this to that person and he did this to the other person. At the end of the day, what we are talking about on this here day is what he was acquitted of, or not acquitted of, but what he was not found guilty of. And at the end of the day, if I know many of us are angry about how unfair certain people in this industry have been to artists, but you might as well not talk about anybody if that's what you're basing it on. You might as well not talk about any powerful person in the entertainment industry. You might as well not appreciate any artist because 99.9% of the time, they are the victim of someone who has done something even more egregious to them. People have this whole likes, please. Can I have some likes and some notification bell hits and stuff? But I'm not trying to be disrespectful because I totally get it. But the whole next topic, I'm tired of talking about Diddy thing. That's the reason why we never get beyond the smoke and mirrors of this industry. This entire industry is built on the backs of artists and creatives who have been taken advantage of, people who have lost their lives because of depression, alcoholism, drugs, I'm saying all the things I'm not supposed to be saying on my YouTube. Lord God, they need a bleep button in this mug. But understand that as a 55-year-old woman who's been in this business for 31 years, then I'm telling you that these conversations need to be had. I'm telling you that these are the conversations that we need to unpack so that we better understand how to navigate the future of this industry, right? I'm not talking about Diddy for clicks. Well, I mean, I'm talking about everybody tonight for clicks and likes and shit. But because I want to grow an audience for a platform that cares about our community. I want to grow an audience for a platform that understands what the fuck is going on in this industry. And in order to do that, a lot of y'all need to just be quiet and listen. And if it's not something you want to hear, I totally understand that. And I totally respect that. And maybe tomorrow night we'll talk about something fluffy that we find entertaining. And I don't want to lose one subscriber or one follower, but I'm not going to allow people to think that because you think you know what you're talking about, or you think you know exactly what had happened was, that we should move on. because we're just getting started when it comes to having these real conversations about what this industry has bred for 30 years. And if we're going to get to a better place and a better understanding, our audience needs to understand what we've been through. So if you see a Latavia or a Monifa or a Nikki Gilbert Daniels or an Angie Stone, who right up until the time she died was having these very same conversations about different people, her issue wasn't even with Diddy. It was with an entirely different monster in this motherfucker. So they're everywhere. And as fans of our music and supporters of our art and what we do, the best thing you can do in situations where someone is speaking from knowledge and experience is listen and leave room for it not to be perfect. Things need to be discussed from a different perspective. I'm not on here talking about, I don't like this mother. I don't. We everybody knows something. Everybody was there. And the people who were there haven't said anything. That's the thing. I actually love Nights with Nicci. Keep talking. Others can log off if they need to. I appreciate y'all. But like in my long-winded ass, no excuse for bad behavior, but we are not our worst. We usually get lost when we are our most vulnerable. Protect the children. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. It needs to be discussed. Tips of so many icebergs. That's it, y'all. That's it. And here's the thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to try to wind this thing up, and I will definitely be back with you guys tomorrow. But the thing is, I have historically been the auntie that's on these social media platforms, speaking truth that a lot of people don't want you to hear. There is no benefit to me telling you a lie. There is no benefit to me disrespecting anybody, right? There's only benefit to me sharing my truthful, honest experiences in the entertainment industry and how I've navigated it and what has happened to me so that it is a historical reference, right? When I'm all these Nicci car rants and Nicci on YouTube and shit, someday some young creative, as much as the world is changing, I don't know, but the history of the entertainment industry, right? I know when Whitney Houston died, some of you may remember I was on a lot of platforms. I was on Dr. Drew quite a few times. I was on CNN. I was on a lot of platforms, and there were people who were like, well, she shut up. What is she doing talking? What is she? I wasn't on there trying to pretend like I was Whitney Houston's friend, because I was not. Faith was. I knew Whitney. I'd had experiences with her, and I was with her the night before she died and had a chance to hug her and say hello and whatnot, and say hello to Bobby Christina. But I wasn't her friend. And even though when I got on some of those news channels, good friend of Whitney Houston, I'm like, would y'all take that shit down? Because I never told nobody that I was a good friend of Whitney Houston. What I was an advocate for a creative who was one of the world's greatest singers that ever lived on the whole motherfucking planet, ever in the whole wide world, and who was gone 2 months soon because she was judged to the point where she started self-medicating because the world and the media and the powers that the PTBs ripped her to shreds for shit that these young girls and folks out here do 24/7, and it gets highlighted and promoted on every platform and streaming service in the world. But because Whitney Houston came along at a time where you had to pretend to be perfect, where you had to be so pulled up. Y'all don't understand. This being transparent and just saying what we got to say is something that is new for a lot of artists who grew up in an industry that groomed, capital GROOMED, us, to shut up and sing and to put this best foot forward. And to some degree, the artist development and the everything isn't for public consumption and all of these things, to some degree, that was a good thing, right? To some degree, it was cool for everything, right? But for Whitney Houston, who is someone who said multiple times after The Bodyguard, she just wanted to go away with her baby and go to an island and just live her degular life and just be a regular, normal person. And who knows, had she had the opportunity to do exactly that, then maybe she would still be with us. So my point of going onto the platforms and talking about it when that happened and talking about it when it happens to other artists and creatives is because I understand it. Lean in with me on this now. I understand it. While I've never experienced the level or degree of success as somebody like Whitney Houston or Michael Jackson or Prince or any of those wonderful, incredible artists, I understand it at a very basic level that if we had treated them better, if there were opportunities for them to get the healing that they needed, if we had more resources as very emotionally volatile creatives, takes so much for us to drum up the energy to share that kind of vibration with people, right? That's a real thing, you guys. And I wanted to be a voice for artists and creatives that you don't often hear in the media. One that wasn't caught up in viewership or ratings or salacious headlines. So many dope ass creatives fall prey to lies in the media, setups in the media, headlines that's full of shit. Things that weren't so bad at the time. She couldn't even be honest about her sexuality. Even though we later discovered, well, we didn't discover shit because we wasn't there. But there was some innuendo about this or that. And again, I understand that as consumers of the music and the art, that you see things in the news and it makes you believe it because it just seems so believable. Or you see things on reality TV and you really want to believe that these people are terrible people and drug addicts and smokers and terrible and awful and whatever, and Michael Jackson is doing this and that. When you own media, when you have access to the most powerful tool in the universe, which is what the media is, it will convince you that the aliens are coming. If they got the right, we believe that people actually was on the moon with cameras and shit. Yeah, we did. And we ain't been there since with no cameras, but it's a man with planting a flag on the moon. And we believe that shit. And some people still do. So I'm not here to argue with anyone. I just want to know if you've been up there and you put a flag on there, what else is up there and why the hell haven't we been there since? But my point is just media has the ability to choose presidents. Media has the ability to convince you that people have done things that they have not done, like write a script they did not write. Media has the ability to change your perspective on how you feel about your family, the people you know, the people you are with every day. The media has you convinced that these filters and shit and these lifestyles where somebody goes and takes a 2-second picture with somebody, that's their best friend and they just hung out and had dinner and shit, and it was really just hey girl, let me take this picture right quick, click, click. You understand what I'm saying? We have gotten so jaded and confused about the real shit in this industry that when we see it, we don't believe it and we don't want to hear it. If I had $1 for everybody who called me a mean girl, then I'd be able to pay the $1 million that I have to pay the $1 billion company that the judge demanded that I pay him, because honestly, people thought I was a fucking mean girl on R&B Divas and I didn't get the support publicly. Wrapping it up. My producer's knocking. I didn't get the public support. I'm coming, babe, in real life this time, y'all. My husband look, wrap this shit up. But I didn't get the public support that I believe I should have gotten and could have gotten. And at the end of the day, it's just like the Cassie and Diddy case. If nobody cared about the video and the video didn't circulate everywhere and we didn't see Cassie getting beat up, nobody would give a shit about what Diddy did. Because people do what Diddy did and R. Kelly did and this one did and that one did and the other did and the third did, and all the high, powerful, white and every other race men. I mean, let's not talk about the things that went on at Hugh Hefner's spot and the stories of all the things that occurred there. Let's distract from all the other things that are happening and let's just hone in on a community on a person that we don't like because the industry furnished a video that would make repulse us and sicken us and make us be like, I hate that motherfucker. He's getting exactly, and I heard that he did this to Pac, and I heard that, but we don't know any of that. We don't have any of the facts, and we haven't seen it play out in a court of law. But we have passed judgment and made a determination that has stuck with us for 30 plus years. We don't know who did what. It's a whole lot of reasons why a whole lot of people might have done that shit. Who benefits when an artist is no longer here, but their music's still selling? Who benefits from making it appear as though the obvious person did something when the not so obvious person may have done it? The problem in our community is we are too quick to believe the bullshit when we weren't there. And when a person tells you the truth and you refuse to accept it and you refuse to hear it, we remain ignorant. And the more ignorant we remain, the less progress we make. We are reactive people. We are not proactive. We are talented, we are creative, we are loving, we are the sauce. But we are emotional and reactive based on the trauma and the prolonged exposure to poverty. And we get so caught up in believing in people who have what we think we want, which is wealth, until we realize that a lot of these people we have deified and got all this money are some of the most twisted, shifty, shady motherfuckers on the planet. And then when you deal with the cold hard reality that this entire industry has been built on shady motherfuckers getting put in position because they are shady, because trust and believe there are people who knew all about this Cassie stuff, and there are people who knew all about a lot of the other things that are alleged. And those people run those companies. We don't determine what gets played on the radio. We don't have the power to do that. We don't determine which drill rappers get signed to record companies. We don't have the power to do that. But the most powerful companies on the planet who put the music out, who put the narratives in the hands of impressionable young adults, slide by without a question, without a side eye. And that is the reason that our community will always end up on the losing end of this war against the narrative that is destroying us. C. Dolores Tucker tried to tell everybody in the 90s, and they put records out about this woman being called a bitch. They called her names and they drug her through the mud. That is what they do. It's happened throughout history. And the sad part is, we have the power to change all of it if we just amplify the voices of the people who really give a fuck, who really care, and stop leaning into the bullshit. But we have been conditioned by propaganda and the idea that wealth and popularity is what everybody should aspire to do or become, and at all cost. So, yeah, guys, I hope that we start to realize who the good people who really care about us are, who have platforms to help push our culture forward. Because at the rate that we're going, the areas that we excel in, entertainment, media, sports, and that's just what it is. Those are the areas that God gave us the ability to excel in naturally, right? I mean, I know we got doctors and lawyers and mathematicians and scientists and all that kind of shit. But what's really powerful, and I'm going to wrap this up. I probably shouldn't have said that because then it's going to be long again. But what's really powerful is our ability to come together and make something really special, whether it's sinners, whether it's electing presidents, right? Media is the tool. It is the tool that has been used forever to break us down. So when people wonder what I'm doing over here on this YouTube channel every night, hustling for likes, it's bigger than just likes because I, want to be famous. Because I don't. Because in a minute, you probably see a lot less content from me once we get this train going, right? I'll still do nice with Nicci with y'all because I feel like y'all appreciate it. But the reason I'm building this media situation is because I understand how powerful it is. And I understand that if we can get enough of us to work together in unity, we can start moving in the direction of healing in real life and not so caught up in believing that because people are rich and famous that they are good for our community, because most of them are not. And most of what this industry has been built on is smoke and mirrors. All right. So anywho, happy Monday night. It's 12 motherfucking 30. And that's why I do my show at night, because I cuss and I be all over the place and shit. But I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys for hitting the like button. I will be back tomorrow night. I'm going to try to get on some of these topics that I wasn't able to address tonight. Real quick, ever since I realized how we overlooked and justified Black R. Kelly, right, the R. Kelly situation, right, exactly. And here's the thing. People knew R. Kelly was doing that. Oh, please understand. People knew that was going down. Just like they knew what was going on with Puffy and everybody else. All right, love you guys. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Free Wendy Williams. We're going to talk about that as well. And please go to WRF.TV YouTube channel and make sure that you guys hit like, share, and subscribe. TikTok, y'all so cute over there. I love them hearts. All right, peace. Thank you guys so much. Thank y'all for tuning in to Nights with Nicci. I am Nicci Gilbert Daniels, and I will be back tomorrow. So tell a friend to tell a friend. Nights with Nicci is back again in this motherfucker. All right, y'all. Peace.